In the most turbulent of times, I reached out to a music lover and quasi-promoter, Keagan, aka Kegz, to talk about his YouTube channel, how it got started, and his own background in music. FinalBoss.io is so pleased to give you this exclusive from Austin, Texas, in a conversation where we purposely limited our coronavirus chat to as minimal as humanly possible. Enjoy! So yeah, let's just fucking get straight into it. What was the first CD you ever bought?
Ooh, this is a good. Okay, so try not to judge me too much. It was Sum 41's Fat Lip.
Oh, nice! I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. And do you remember the music video where they're in the pool? That
Yes,
shit.
man. Yeah, In Too Deep.
Yeah. How old are you, may I ask?
Yeah, 28. I'm about to turn 29 on the 3rd of April.
Sure. So I completely get that, and I'm not judging you whatsoever because.
Yeah, I was a 13-year-old, like 12, 13. I don't know, kind of angsty.
And
little...
at that point, that music, because I was a big, or I am still a big Blink-182 guy, and I just like. In that moment of 2000 to 2006, it's like
it was so good. Dude.
Fucking
so good. You had Franz Ferdinand, you had Modest Mouse catch that big break. It was just there was so much happening during that time period.
Sure.
Much Music USA was still a thing. And then it turned into Fuse. TV,
yeah.
But yeah, good times.
Really odd, wasn't it? I've been looking back, and maybe this doesn't apply to you, but obviously I'm English, and I've been looking back at the Britpop of that era, and I don't know whether that's something you ever. But you mentioning Franz Ferdinand, then unbelievable. Even like the second-rate Britpop bands were pretty good. You know, really crazy.
Yeah, Block Party as well come out during that time.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Lots of big shit. So, first CD you ever bought, where did you go from there?
From there, it went to Thursday, this emo type rock band. Trying to remember that single. I think it was called "Understanding in a Car Crash."
Okay.
Yeah, it was Thursday, and then Franz Ferdinand, and then I got into like some weird Def Leppard.
Okay.
I don't know. It like evolved from like
that did not evolve. That's a devolution. Yeah. Def Leppard. So I will happily judge you on Def Leppard.
I was young, man.
What was, and maybe there isn't a connection whatsoever, but what was the influence musically from your parents? What did your dad give you?
Okay, so my dad was a huge, like, Peter Frampton.
Okay.
Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
Tom Petty.
Sure.
You know, just classic rock through and through. He was really into that. He did not understand anything I was listening to, which is fine. My mom, she was really, she doesn't listen to a lot of music. She was a big Pat Green fan, Robert Earl King, so like country music type stuff. She's really just into easy listening. She doesn't really like getting into the details of music. She finds something she likes, she'll listen to it.
Sure. And maybe this is a leap, so I'd love to hear what you're saying here, but you combine the fusion of Sum 41 and all of those types of music that you said your dad gave to you, that feels like it's coming along to the sort of roots that you bring out through Kegz, I'd say, which is very easy for me to say because they're two very different things, and so they combine. But yeah,
definitely. I also grew up with an older sister for a short time. I have 3 older sisters and 2 younger brothers, and at the time, my sister was really into Marilyn Manson.
Okay.
That industrial goth rock scene at that time. So that's the stuff I was not allowed to listen to. I mean, there were times when my dad was pretty strict. Like, I couldn't listen to, like, CMT, the country music channel. I couldn't watch MTV.
Wow.
And if I was caught, it was a bad deal.
Give you the belt, son. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, we had wooden spoons at my house, man, so pretty bad.
You really differentiate between what kind of family you were, didn't you? Some had the wooden spoon, some had the belt.
Right, exactly.
That was your upbringing, yeah. And have you? Okay, with that said, have you always been Texas native?
Yes, I was born in Abilene, Texas, actually. And from there, grew up in a really small town. I think the population was like 300.
Okay.
It's called Anson, Texas. And then from there, we moved more central, about 2 hours from Austin, actually, 2 hours west of Austin, in a town called Brady, Texas.
Okay.
And that's where I primarily did my upbringing.
Sure. And humor me here again. Small little English player over here. Is Texas? Is it exactly like you see in the movies, and everything is extra large, and there are cows everywhere, and rattlesnakes, and?
It's funny you said that. Yeah. So actually, for a while, a good portion of my life, ever since I could remember to, probably 14 or 15 years of age, my parents raised goats and pigs.
Sure.
And so we had a bunch of land. Not a lot of shops. We didn't even have a Walmart.
Wow.
So yeah, rattlesnakes for sure. Animals galore. Stock shows, livestock, you name it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Cute. So proper farmy kind of background then.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. When did you first learn to play an instrument?
It's pretty young. I remember, going back to Sum 41, all that stuff. Nirvana actually released one of their greatest hits with that unreleased song or whatever. I think that's where I started to want to learn how to play. My dad got me an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Thinking like he might have teach me or get me lessons, and he pretty much just said figure it out. And so from there, just kind of figured it out. I did have a lot of musical influences, though, in my neighborhood, believe it or not, in a small town in Texas. Down the road, one of my good friends still to this day, his dad played in a church, like Christian rock or whatever. He wasn't that type of guy, but he was. He loved Jimi Hendrix, so I'd go over there all the time and watch him, and then he'd be like, yeah, look up tabs, and I'd always ask him for advice or help. So he kind of moved me along, but I figured out I couldn't play guitar that well. So I actually ended up getting a bass guitar and learning all the basics from there.
Yeah.
And then in school, I think it was trumpet. That's where I first started learning how to read music.
Okay. How many instruments can you play then?
I would say probably, I don't know, a handful. Definitely banjo, trumpet.
Really
harmonica.
Giving in to being that Texas kid, aren't you, with the banjo?
And, and it's weird, man. It's not something, I don't know. It's just those types of instruments were just always around. They were always readily available to use, whether it was...
they give them out in the hospitals when babies are born, aren't they?
Yeah. It seems like it, man. It really
does. When did you first see the channel taking off? How long have you done Kegz now?
Since 2011, I believe, was my first song upload. I think that was the Weird Trees upload. It might have been 2010, late 2010, early 2011. Yeah. Seeing the channel take off, I think it was 2014, 2015.
Okay. Oh, so a few years grafting then.
Yeah, and it wasn't something I ever intended on growing. It was, intended just to be my personal music collection. I didn't have an MP3 player at the time. I didn't have any real way of... I didn't have a storage device to listen to music on, pretty much. And my phone was a crapshoot.
Sure.
I think it was like a Galaxy Ace or something like that.
Okay.
Super weird. So I would upload the songs I would want to hear, like while I was at work, onto my YouTube channel, and just kind of use that for my own personal use. And next thing you know, it's just started getting subs, and I'm just like, oh, okay, this is weird. I'll keep uploading what I like.
Yeah.
So.
Is it literally as simple as that then? There's no kind of math to it. It's like, I like this song, this is going on Kegz.
Correct. Yeah. And exactly right. There's people who email me, man, and I feel bad most of the time. Because I'm being bombarded with emails, and I love when people send me music, especially their own music. But like today, like as we're talking, it's like 35 emails a day, and it's from publishing companies. It's people saying, "Oh, here, take my money. You can monetize it." And it's not the point of it at all. Yeah, so it's as simple as I'll go hunting for it myself, and if I like it, I'll upload it.
Sure. I guess, have you ever, from the very small amount of YouTube videos that I've uploaded, like I'd say 2 out of 10 of them have been, attacked by the YouTube police. Did you ever fear that kind of thing by uploading music that isn't your own?
Probably, yeah, when it started growing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it was just a risk I was going to take. I mean, as long as I was giving credit to the bands and they didn't have a problem with it and they didn't want to remove it or copyright strike my channel, because they were, getting attention off of it, free attention that they didn't have to ask anybody for or pay for.
Okay.
So yeah, I was kind of terrified. Don't get me wrong, and it's getting weirder every day. Mm-hmm. It definitely is.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not something I really fear anymore.
Okay. Your YouTube bio simply reads, "I love music. I hope you do too." It's straightforward. It's very from meeting you 12 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It was a good guess. Yeah, 11:39 by the way. I'd say that kind of leads into your humdrum sort of background there. It's very unpretentious. What would you say, and I know you're somewhat of an artist yourself, but what would you say your official role is? Are you... I know that at the end of the day it's just a YouTube channel, but like, do you see yourself as a music promoter? Are you a producer? Where would you stand with that?
That's a good question. Honestly, don't know. I'm just a music lover, I guess.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be cool to be either of those things. I don't see myself as that, though, at all. I just see myself as a dude who has a pretty broad taste in music. And
sure.
And, I guess the older I've gotten and the older the channel's gotten, I look at it as, just helping out artists who can't afford to hire these online publishing companies or promoting companies, who some indie bands pay, hundreds of dollars to just to get a click, get a download. I mean, they're just shouting into the endless void, and I try to keep that in consideration. If I do stumble across a band who I like, and it's no offense to them, I mean, they're still a great band, but let's say they have, 500,000 hits on Spotify versus less than 1,000 hits of this other band, So I'd rather take those that content more into consideration than somebody who is obviously being bought into playlisting. I don't know if that's the right way to put that.
Sure.
But yeah, playlisting's become a bigger entity than I ever thought it would be. It's really strange.
That's cool. How do you approach uploading your own music? I know you are an artist. I really like what you've put out. I like your sound. There was that song that I messaged you about.
Calculating, yeah.
I fucking love Calculating. Honestly, I love the riff of it, and every now and again I'll go back to it, and I just think it's just you've just gotten the. I'm a sucker for riffs, and I could happily listen to Hey Jude for 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm the same way, man.
And but you just seem to have had that. With Calculating, you've picked that time zone so well, and I just fucking love that track. But sorry, I'm getting off track here. You're good. My question is, where do you? I know you've had an issue with uploading some of your own music to your YouTube before. Where do you step in? Where do you draw the line at being a hypocrite? Where is right and where is wrong in terms of uploading your own music to a channel that you're promoting other people's?
So I can tell you right off the bat, it automatically makes me feel guilty.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it really, I don't know, to put, I guess, a little perspective. So whenever I upload a song, that song is usually written and recorded the same day it's put up, because
Sure.
I can't. That's my problem. I can't hold on to my music to like do an official release or something. I feel like once I create something like that, I have to get it out as fast as possible.
Okay.
Or I'm gonna have an anxiety attack. You
Right.
know what I mean? But it's weird, man. I don't know. I know I'll lose a lot of subs, or not a lot, but I'll lose a couple every time I upload my own music, because I get it. You know, it's like, who is this guy just promoting himself on top of all these other bands? And I feel bad about it, but it's something I feel like if I don't do, then I feel more trapped. And I don't know how to really put that into words.
No,
but I do feel bad about it. I do feel guilty.
That's entirely fair. But that's such an odd, you know, that's a really odd perspective. I like that. Are you trying to, when you do upload these songs, is the trajectory of your career to become a musician? Do you want to be Kegz on stage? Do you want to?
I mean, it's something that would be neat. I have played a couple acoustic shows. You know, I'm really into that personal acoustic sound. I mean, I love the acoustic guitar more than anything. But for it to be a job or anything, I think that's just, I don't know, a fantasy, I guess, man. It's not something I try to pursue too hard, just
Sure.
because, I mean, I probably should. I mean, I really have nothing else going on for me. Yeah, I don't know, man. Right now, it's just kind of something I use to, you know, I create something and I just want to put it out there as fast as possible. And, you know, half of my stuff is not on Bandcamp or Spotify, so I make no money off of it.
Yeah.
You know, I make $0 off of YouTube. So it's just something I do just to have a release, I guess.
In the one interview that I managed to read about you, there's not very much online, you mentioned you had a really tough time a few years ago. You said you lost grandparents, and you broke up with a girlfriend, and basically I'm 10 months out of a breakup now, and I basically just wanted to ask you personally if you had any advice on breakups or loss. Your music, I know that you can promote that through your songs and through the songs that you upload, but I just, wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
I guess advice, it's grievings and losses. I mean, it's different for everybody. You can feel overwhelmed, and if you don't have, you can't make music, or you feel like, you don't have an outlet to do. I mean, walking definitely helps. I know that's super weird to say, but I think walking and just for a little bit outside, learning how to breathe again, learning how to cope with yourself and not diving into drugs or alcohol is something that's really important. I know it's easier said than done. Trust me. But those walks that I took every day definitely saved my life, for sure.
Really? That bad?
Yeah. For sure.
May I ask what happened?
In which one? The breakup?
Either or, I guess.
My grandparents were just getting older, man. My grandmother had dementia pretty bad, so she didn't know, left from right.
Yeah.
She thought I was a football coach at my dad's at some points. Got to the point where she lost her ability to speak entirely. My grandfather, he just didn't want to hang on anymore.
Yeah.
So he let go. The relationship situation, I mean, that was just something that is kind of a constant chapter in my life. It never changes, man. And I just kind of, you can't force people to love you, so just love yourself. And eventually, that loving yourself, I don't know, somebody will come along and fill that void, or maybe, you get to a point where you can fill that void yourself. and you don't have to rely on another individual. So it was a pretty crazy time.
Yeah,
for sure. And it just all happened all at once. I mean, but yeah, we're here today though, man.
Yeah,
so it's good.
Yeah, and you look bright. The sun's out there, you know.
Yeah, it's a hot day today, man. Yeah, I can't believe it.
Thanks, man. That's really good. Thank you for telling me about that. It's really good to hear.
Yeah, it's no problem.
And then I've just got a few more questions here. What do you think of the vinyl comeback?
Oh, it's great, but it's expensive if you're an independent artist wanting to do that yourself. You know, there's a lot of people like Jack White, got that new vinyl press station up in Michigan or something, but they're not making it very readily affordable to lower end independent musicians. That's why cassettes have flooded vinyl, in my own opinion. And but yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing. I know the margins on vinyl are way better than a CD or a digital sell, without a doubt.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I really dig it. Hopefully, though, like people, I don't know, like I got into vinyl, but then you get into the editions, like when was this printed? You know, that's
right.
You dig into that little stuff. So I think it's cool, though. I think it's a good hobby to have.
Okay, tell me this then. You say that it's too expensive. My counterpoint to that would be, do you quite like that though? Do you like going into the store and spending $30 and then having that vinyl because you've spent $30 and you've saved up for it?
So if I'm going to spend $30 on a vinyl, it's going to have to be something I'm going to love.
Sure.
And so it makes it, I guess, for me, it has to be the right one. You know, you can't, like you said, $30, two of them $60. It's like, holy shit, am I going to be able to eat for the rest of the week just because I want these two vinyl? But
you got some 41, some 42.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's funny. But yeah, I mean, it's cool, man. But yeah, as long as it's something that you really want, you should definitely go for it. Even if it is $30.
Sure.
Just listen to it all the time, man.
Yeah.
Wear out that needle.
Moving on from vinyl, what was your favorite song of 2019?
Woo. 2019. Favorite song. Okay, this is gonna sound kind of weird because it's not a new one. It's actually this song. It's an old country song, kind of country, I guess. It's by Stonewall Jackson. It's called "Wash My Hands."
Okay.
Yeah, it's an older song, but yeah.
I
wish it was something newer.
No, that's fine. I've literally just written that down. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then, who are you listening to at the moment?
There's never one particular artist. I got to say that. And something else about the way I listen to music is it's a mix of current and older stuff. Older being, 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out there's a lot of stuff in 2015 that I never got to hear. I would say Gunk is one of them. Bob Dylan is like every year. I can never get enough of Bobby Dylan. I cannot. Dark Times in Los Angeles, who is actually it's a side project of what's his name? Oh, I feel terrible because I'm forgetting it. Gremlin.
Okay.
Who I actually uploaded back in 2011. He's still active for some reason, but it's awesome to see he's still making new music.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think I've got two final questions. We have the obligatory "Where's Kegz gonna go?" We'll do that in a second.
Okay.
Because every interview I've got to ask, where are you going with X, or what are you doing with Y?
Gotcha.
At the end, it's the final question of every single one. And I know that we've got a coronavirus ban, but where do you think, heavy shit, where do you think this is going to lead? So many tours that I'm seeing in Bristol are being cancelled.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just, what do you think this is going to do for musicians? At least over the rest of 2020, I guess.
it's going to put some of them probably to lead. Probably, I don't know, man, and it's hard, man. I would say, some musicians are probably going to have to give up. I've thought about selling a guitar or two of my own just to have some cash. Or it could, I don't know, maybe lead, I don't know, some of them, it's like one of my buddies, I'm not going to mention any names here, but, he's given up just because if your back is put to a wall like it is in these situations like it is today, you have no other way of fending for yourself, no other way of making any money.
Yeah.
And so, it's either, hey, I'm going to go grab my, my button up in my tie and try to get back out into a world of business or what have you, just give up completely, because it's not, you don't make enough to live comfortably, or eat comfortably. And especially when something like this happens, there's no savings. I mean,
Sure.
If they do, I mean, good for them, man, but it's not the case for everybody. But hopefully, there's some house shows still going on in Austin, which they probably shouldn't be doing. I think if they really want to, they just roll with the punches and keep going. And if not, I mean, who can blame them? It's the way I look at it. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
That was a fucking savage answer. That's totally fair. That's really bleak. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
What's Kegz doing next? Where do you go with the channel?
I don't know, man. Just keep doing what I'm doing, I guess. I thought if this coronavirus crap, COVID, whatever you want to call it, never happened, I was hoping on going on a journey to visit Lazy Me in the Philippines and meeting up with her.
Wow.
And maybe heading over to Washington to meet Bedroom Fidelity, Justin. Because those two we were really close, like when this all started. We all kind of started around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, we've kind of drifted apart. But I think I just thought it'd be really cool to just meet them in person finally.
There's such an indie movie there. I know.
There's potential.
There really is. Well, that's honestly, make that happen. That would be the event.
I'm gonna try, man.
That would be such an event.
It really would be fun.
That's it, man. We absolutely smashed through that. Thank you so much, Keagan. That was beautiful.
It's good talking to you, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate the opportunity.
You're welcome. Honestly, I'm the guy here. Don't worry. I'm the dude sat at your feet. Don't you worry. Keagan, Kegz, we're all done. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. No problem.